Hello, hello everybody. Hi. I hope you guys are doing good. And yeah. So my topic when I signed up for a reproductive system. And how it functions, and so I just decided to go brief and into like a brief narration of like what the reproductive system does. Um, so we'll begin. Um, so here I just talked about the reproductive system's anatomy, which comprises of the basic sexual response, uh, and this is fulfilled with organs, um, both in males and females. There are only two sexes. There like only there's only male and female, and their sexes differ and they vary in terms of like hormones and what it does. Uh, so the reproductive system, the main objective or the main function is procreation, is to like produce offspring and like contribute and keep survival instinct for like human for the human body going. And These primary sex organs um, contribute gametes from either a male or a female. And when this fuse together, they form a zygote. And that undergoes a lot of processes and it's just becomes a baby. And what happens is also we have 23 pairs of chromosomes um, that make up our genetic um, uh, DNA, and those are passed on from our parents to the offspring, and the offspring also passes on to their um, other offsprings, and that's how survival uh, pretty much is, and humans are able to uh, live through their reproductive system. So we have males, and so we the main uh, things that form the gametes are the sperm from the males and egg from the women, from the females. I mean, um, so uh, the egg is formed like it goes through a cycle and through the primary follicles um, or secondary follicles, they develop into the oocyte, which eventually becomes an ovulated egg, which leaves the uh, ovary uh, into the fallopian tube and down the uterine line, and um, so that occurs within a cycle. And when the egg is fertilized from a sperm, it forms a zygote, and at first an embryo forms, then a zygote forms, then uh, a fetus eventually develops after 8 weeks. Um, so um, and In maintaining that, we know that if the female or like the egg doesn't is not fertilized, then the egg gradually is degraded, and this is what we normally known as is known as menstruation. And for men, like it occurs in the glands, uh, the sperm cells, spermatozoa begins uh, its uh, reproductive uh, cell division and stuff, to form eventually sperm. And each and every sperm has a mitochondria at the edge of its tip that helps it propel um, it gives the cell energy to be fertilized with the egg, and once it fertilizes the egg, it snips off. Um, so yeah, um, pretty much. So I broke it down to males and females getting to the end. And I said for females, the main function is to produce and deliver gametes, and um, they provide nourishment and room uh, for, like, because the way the female um, body is structured, like the hips, and it's they provide fetal room for fetal development for like a baby. So like the more curved a female or voluptuous a female's waistline is, with that means the ischium and the pubic symphysis and ischial bones can be able to like hold that shock and everything, be able to absorb that burden and be able to carry the baby. um, Also, like other immune things and benefits are given to newborn babies from the mother, and that protects the baby from like dying off early on. It used to be back in the day, like, yeah, like TB and like all those diseases like influenza um, and some measles, chicken pox, and smallpox. So they had to develop vaccines and things to kind of like help um, with immunity. And now, like, thanks to that, like things like that, the baby gets it from the mother, either when it's in the womb or and after when they get out from the womb. Um, and here I talked about the primary and secondary follicles develop from the primordial cells, and they eventually mature to the oocyte, and the oocyte breaks off after its cycle after a couple of days, um, and becomes ovulated. Um, so So some secondary features are like hair, pubic, facial, and axillary features. There are scents called glands called like pheromones, um, for males and females. Uh, the breasts, or and widening of hips help. What's it called? Males get attracted to females. So um, So here I listed the organs, and I kind of emphasize the importance of like hormone, like in women, like progesterone and estrogen. It's like really really important. Um, like it helps like regulate their body temperature and everything, and also like uh, their like menstrual cycle, things like that. So that is also very very essential. So on to the next side, I just also talked about the male reproductive system. Here I talked about the penis and uh, the urethra, duct, the vas deferens, the epididymis, the glands, um, the prepuce, testis, the scrotum. The testis is like an oval shaped organ that is like 4 centimeters long and 2.5 centimeters in diameter. Um, it contains seminiferous tubules that drain into network called reed testis. Um, the low blood pressure of like testicular artery like results in oxygen supply. Uh, so without oxygen supply and our mitochondria not being able to be active over there, we get like hypoxic environments sometimes. But for the sperm to like uh, uh, to move, it's due to this low blood pressure of testicular artery, which results in oxygen supply. And they are able to use mitochondria with that, burn it, oxygen, ATP, use that, and able to swim into the female's environment, which is obviously known for being hypoxic. There's less stimulation and less oxygen, like it's just like kind of calm area and stuff, while the sperm is like more aggressive and like trying to swim to uh, the female. Yeah. um so I think that is it for me, but I